Hi, it's Wendy from Abundant Living Mommy. Thank you for joining me today. I'm a functional medicine certified health coach, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about digestive health. And I actually have some notes today because there's so much about digestive health that I wanted to try to hit on some key points. Certainly can't cover everything, but just some key points that might get you thinking about your own digestion and how it works. So let's just start with first some basics about digestion. And we don't necessarily think about digestion starting when we think about it. We think, oh, it's starting in our belly and our food is being processed. It actually starts before that. So as soon as we start to smell food, our salivary glands start to create some saliva in our mouth, and it's starting to signal down into our stomach that there are foods that we're going to be enjoying some food. And with that starts the stimulation of the whole process. So first, when you think about food and enjoying it, chewing is the first step. So we have the signal, we have the smell, the scent, right? And then we start to have the saliva, and our stomach starts to create some acid, and then we go ahead and we take the first bite. Well, in today's society, I don't know about you, but for me, being a mom, I hardly ever sit down and eat. So we typically eat dinner together most nights, but breakfast or lunch, you're either standing at the counter or you're eating on the run. We don't take a lot of time to really chew our food, and good, healthy digestion starts with chewing. It's the first step. So making sure that we are actually chewing our food, again, is stimulating that saliva and those processes in our body. So it's really important to start chewing our food and chewing slowly. Let's not work really hard. We just are trying to get through our meal and get to the next thing, the next task we have, get the kids to bed if it's nighttime, whatever it might be, running to our next errand, cramming in at lunchtime, and we are really quick eaters now. We don't really sit and enjoy. One of the things my husband and I did as we were traveling in Italy is, my goodness, meals would last hours, and there was something really nice and fun about that. It was very relaxing. I never felt rushed. There was a slower pace. In our Western culture, we're all about busyness. We're all about running to the next place, and I'm guilty of that myself. But taking time at mealtime is key to our good, proper nutrition. So taking time for that. Making sure that when we're doing that, it is stimulating acids. So one of the things that happens is we think of high acid, or if you have acid indigestion, or you have acid reflux, we think about that as we have too much acid, and most of the time it's because we have too little acid. And so that is dependent upon how we're chewing our food and how we're digesting our food as to what type of acid is being produced in our body. It also has everything to do with how much our body absorbs in the form of nutrients and quality food. So it's really important to make sure that we're allowing our body to process that very carefully. It also helps regulate our appetite. So I don't know if you think back to a time when you have just really been hungry and you're hurrying, you're eating as fast as you can, and then you feel like you've eaten way more than you normally do. Well, you're not giving yourself that ability to actually regulate your appetite. So if you take a step back and you gently enjoy your meal, that has something to do with digestion as well, and with aiding in suppressing your appetite, or regulating, not necessarily suppressing, but regulating your appetite. That is something that is really important. So making the time to chew it. Sometimes when we chew fast, we swallow air, and that can create symptoms, but it also suppresses the ability for our body to naturally start to digest and absorb that food. as we start to chew the food and it starts to travel through our esophagus and down into our small intestine, our large intestine, our pancreas and our gallbladder and our liver start to work, and they start to pump and create that bile and break the food down as it's working its way down into the lower intestine. And that's where it starts to assist our body in breaking it down and helping the body to start to work towards eliminating that food that we have just eaten. And again, with our absorption of those good foods and nutrients. So if the food isn't properly broken down through our chewing, through all the steps that we've talked about, what happens is that food stays. We might have some of it pass through, but the rest of it sits and stays in that small intestine. And as it sits there, it starts to ferment. It actually starts to create problems. You can imagine. I mean, just think about food. If it's sitting on the counter or if it's sitting in the refrigerator for a period of time, it starts to grow bacteria, right? It starts to get smelly and bad and you want to toss it. Well, the same thing is going to happen in your gut. And so making sure that you're able to pass that through and stimulate it so you don't have remnants laying around in your gut. You want to make sure that you're processing it and pushing it all out. So it's important. It usually takes anywhere from 24 to 72 hours for that whole process to occur if you have a healthy gut. So promoting a good healthy gut is really important. Some of the signs you might be having, or you might not even realize that are signs of poor digestion, would be gas, would be bloating, would be possibly a headache, nausea, dizziness. You might not be able to lose weight and you've been trying to lose weight and you can't figure out why you're not able to lose weight. Say you're even eating a healthy diet and you're not able to do that. Those could all be signs of poor digestion. And another key to poor digestion would be elimination. So something I know a lot of people don't want to talk about, but elimination is really important. So when our digestive system is working really well, then we actually are able to process and push that food, the digested food, out after every meal. So typically, you would be looking at 2 to 3 times every single day that you would be able to have a bowel movement and elimination. If you are not having that every single day, at least one, then you know that there is a problem, that you have a problem with your digestion. It's not meant to stay in, it's meant to push out. So it's important, again, to really key into good digestion and elimination. So some of the things that we are learning is that diseases are now, there is a gut connection to that. And so they're really finding that diseases and illnesses start in the gut. So promoting a really good, healthy gut is critical to our overall health. And there are a lot of things that we can do to promote good health. One obviously is going to be stimulating having good fruits and vegetables. We talked about chewing. Chewing is going to be the first. So make sure that you're chewing your food really well. Take that time. Don't drink water when you're eating. Put water aside, have it at the very end, or have some before you start your meal. But just allow yourself that time to just enjoy and to chew your food. And then stimulating that by having good, healthy fruits and vegetables and a good quality diet. But we can go more in depth on another time. I just wanted to give you some key points to digestion. And if you'd like more information, I'd love for you to join me at www.abundantlivingmommy.com. Join my tribe, as I like to call it, and join me on the journey to health and wellness. And I hope you're having a great day.